Hello, I'm FDX and this is QNA Saturday, the weekly series around on my channel where I'll see your questions that have been asked over the past week or so, both across the comment section of last week's QNA Saturday, but also across Twitter as well. It's a really fun opportunity to answer questions people have had about the channel, the videos from the past week, as well as the news, as well as things that people just wanted to ask me, so I figured I'd use this as a great opportunity to answer a bunch of little topics that don't necessarily make sense as their own videos, but do make sense as one combined QNA Saturday. Hopefully you do enjoy this video, like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel out, and let's know you do like the Q&A, and let's know you do like the minigame gameplay in the background. I got on a pretty big tear in the one in the quiver. I liked it. I felt pretty cool while it was happening. But yeah, well, let's get straight into the first question, which comes in from Jackson Gopper. This one's not a question, it's like a correction, but I wanted to respond to this because I said something in there, well, this exact thing from Jackson Gopper, who says, during the summer, when people are not playing games, as if like, oh yeah, well, that's not the right thing. And you might think, oh yeah, summer is clearly when people are playing the most games because people are off school or something. But the truth is that summer is traditionally, especially in the normal games media, just seen as the time where just nothing's going on because no games release, like no major games. Some games do, but not most stuff. Most games aren't bothering with updates, and the reason for that is because in the summer, more people go outside, the daylight's longer, there's less reason to be inside. Again, apparently, that's not what I do, but that's that's what a lot of people do, and therefore it's just kind of a commonly known thing that if you wanna, the biggest release season of the year is generally considered the winter. That's why it's such a big deal that there's no update in the winter for the PC platform, and it's just something I wanted to share and correct because it's something you might not have known, and I love the little fun facts of like, oh, did you know the video games industry goes for a really big dip in the summer and then comes out of it in the winter, and that's why every single major game seems to release in October or November. Fun fact for you right there. Let's move to the second question though, which comes in from the Parrot, who says, Minecraft is like Halo. It started off small and became great, then another company took control and kind of killed the game, but the original version of the game still exists, and we are free to play the original version rather than the ruined version. And the game itself, as well as the community, still lives on and will not be forgotten for a while. So I want to kind of correct this one, because a lot of people go really, like I've said this before, but like I'm not just going to crusade for Minecraft like other YouTubers will just instinctively do, because like, oh, I mean, if we don't, we won't get invited stuff, and I'm not going to instinctively crusade against Minecraft, like everything's bad. No, the truth is Minecraft is still the game that I fell in love with, it's still the game that you might fall in love with, it's still a beautiful game, and it's still developed by the same people, Mojang. However, the specific version of the game on console, specifically the Xbox One, has changed over, and this version of the game is really, again, I can see the comparison of Halo right there, but the big difference is here is that the reason Bungie left the Halo team is because they wanted to develop something else, whereas here it's like, oh yeah, 4J is still working on this new version, and they're just having extra help. So some point down the line, this version will be better. It's just the big concern, the big reason people are against this. Like, this will clearly be the better version of Minecraft one day. It's just that right now it's not that, and the fact that they forced it on people prematurely is the problem there. It's kind of like if Halo 6, you know, like, I don't know if you like Halo 6, but let's say Halo 3, for instance. Halo 3 is considered to be one of the better Halo games, right? Or Halo Reach or something, but imagine that came out 6 months early, it was buggy and broken. Even though that's going to be the best game at some point, why release it early and ruin people's opinions? It's kind of like PUBG on Xbox, actually. Have you ever, if you've seen any PUBG gameplay, it runs terribly, and it's like, people would have loved this game if it worked, but instead they, you know, what they did is they released it early to make a bit of money, and that's something that I feel like so many games companies have, like this short-sightedness, like some executive just says, get it done, and then some employees just like, oh, we probably could if we rushed and we worked overtime, and then maybe we just released something unfinished, and that's kind of what happened with this case. So there you go. Hopefully that comparison makes sense, and you know, now there's gonna be some people who are like, you know what, Toycat, you've been too soft, and I'm gonna unsubscribe. But I've said this before and I'll say it again, but the truth is I'll give you my honest opinions. I'm not gonna like lie one way or lie the other way, even though it makes a lot of sense to now, like, because a lot of people who don't like Minecraft subscribe to be like, yes, I hate it, it is literally worse than Hitler, but it's not. It's just a version of the game which is unfinished, and we don't know if it's gonna be even finished in 2018. That's the big problems. There you go. I just want to get into that because I see a lot of impassioned people saying, Toycat, this is the worst, right? There are problems, but it's not the worst. Anyway, let's go on to the next question, which comes in from Weekly Fox, who says, in your opinion, do you think that Minecraft Java / PC edition players play it different than the console edition players do? I butchered the wording on that one, but that's what he says. And to answer your question, Weekly Fox, I think that, yeah, PC and Java edition, or well, I guess Java edition players, let's just talk about, because PC players technically includes Windows 10. The thing is console edition players have been somewhat limited since the game came out to survival. There's other stuff you can do now, and, you know, like, people download maps, and people made a fun thing from it, but all of these things were based on the same idea of, like, let's play the base game. We have to play the base game. Creative didn't even come until, like, TU5 or something, and this meant that people were always playing Minecraft almost how it was meant to be played on console. It was almost like more of a pure, I don't like the word pure, but like a vanilla community, I guess, in some ways, whereas Java Edition, because it is a PC game and it's built in a weird engine that is very accessible for mods, always had a heavy modding community. Like, if you look at, like, Java, especially on like YouTube, it was just all modded stuff. And if you look at like, you know, the online, people now on Java pretty much exclusively play servers. Like half people play servers, and then like half people are playing like, you know, 1.12 or something like that. But the vast majority of the community is not updating on PC. The vast majority of the community either uses mods in some way if they are playing survival, or realistically doesn't play survival, they just play servers. So yeah, the game Minecraft is really just the platform, which every platform then goes in its own way. Like on the phones, it's slightly different from that then, because again, I think it's something like 80% of players or like 70% of players have never even played survival on the Minecraft phone version, which is mind-blowing to really think about. But yeah, that just kind of goes to show that like the game is so wildly different on every platform, and it's just something that you might not have considered before. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Tony Cat. It's like Toy Cat but with an N in there, who says, Q&A, Toy Cat, long time watcher, first time poster. I prefer your channel for all things Minecraft. Your videos taught me how to play. Keep doing what you are doing. What if your world that you worked so hard on all these years corrupted? I had a few scares in my 3-year-old world. Do you have backups? Thanks. So first of all, thanks so much, Tony Cat. I appreciate the vast, like the decent silent majority on the videos. Like sometimes you might look at a comment section and be like, what did I just see? And I used to have that the first few times, but I realized that the vast majority of people like either don't comment, because it's like 99% of people don't comment, and I'm appreciative of you out there. Even if right now you're like, I've never left a comment on the channel, so I can't, probably never will, I still do appreciate you, so thank you very much for that. But no, to actually answer your question, how do I keep my world safe? And the answer to this one is I kind of don't. So the truth is there is always a chance of your world being corrupted. I wanted to answer this question because it's like a PSA. If you have a really important world, or a world that you spend hours or days on, make sure that you save and make backup every like month or so. I back up my world once every like 6 months. It's not enough, I probably should do more, but the truth is that I think most corruptions, like 99% of corruptions, happen because you turn off your console while it's saving. You know, it's one of these things where just, you know, like how you technically, you're not meant to put out a USB stick. It doesn't happen most of the time, but if you do that and you have a valuable world, just watch out, your data can always be corrupted. So long story short, turn off your console right, and then make backups, and you'll be safe. Thank you for the opportunity, Tony Cat, for me to answer that question and make the PSA, because it's you know, that's a terror for me, and it should be a terror for you too. So let's move on to the next question from Bobby, my boy, who says, what could they do to improve realms or make them more fun? So to answer your question, Bobby, my boy, I don't know, I have to answer it that way. Basically, yeah, I think the way they can make realms the best is to make it like the Java edition, but they've got this big problem now where the Java edition gives you free access to, you know, like custom worlds, adventure maps, survival spawns. They're free when you subscribe to realms. However, on the, you know, the Bedrock edition, the console edition, etc., the way these realms work is it's just a world, and if you want to import a world, well, you can pick it up from the store. And this means that the only way that I would see a way to improve it is to add these things, but if they add these things, then they're like, again, they're disincentivized because it means they'll lose money. So again, personally, I think it'd be really cool. Like, look how cool some of the graphics they put up. Like, look at this thing right here. They did a lot of cool stuff with the PC realms, and I still think it's a more developed product, but right now, it's kind of like a survival product based on the console, and I kind of like it that way. That's how I use it. But the way they could improve it is adding in this other stuff, because it'd be cool to have like a personal minigame server. But again, I don't think that'll actually happen. I think because, again, releasing the store kind of removes the incentive for them to give you free maps. In fact, it gives them the opposite of that, and you know, Microsoft's a company now, not necessarily just an indie game company. So let's move to the next question, which comes in from Metagamer, who says, how does chicken and waffles taste? I hear it's good, but I wanted to hear your opinion on it. Please respond if you can. So I wanted to answer this one because I am really passionate about chicken and waffles. For the longest time, I was like, you know, I'm not going to eat bread, I'm going to only eat waffles. I really love that phase of my life. I wish I could go back sometimes. So to answer your question, yeah, it's really, really good. Try it sometime if you haven't. Put maple syrup on there. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it works. And if you live in London, go to a place called Bird. They do like chicken and waffles for like £6.50, and they throw in like hot sauce, cheese. It's a ridiculous combination of ingredients that doesn't make sense, but it's the best like waffle chicken burger in the world. There you go. Recommendation for you, as well as, I guess, a double recommendation. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Riley Robinson, who says, do you think when the Bedrock engine gets new combat, it will make its way to servers? And the simple answer here is yeah, because the thing is unlike the PC edition, the Java edition, where the servers are kind of just like, you know, they exist separately to the game. People set up their own servers, and you can join those servers. They're like private entities. On the console edition, or on the Bedrock edition, I should say, all of the servers they sign contracts with Microsoft, and Microsoft like has agreements with them. So I imagine if they're ever going to introduce new combat, so they don't introduce the fractured community like they've done on the PC, they'd have to make the server owners agree. And yeah, I think that could actually lead to a more unified game in the end. It'd be like using their power to do something that's not you know, in favor of everyone, but people would get used to it, and it would make the game better, in my opinion. But the new combat is a long way off. Don't you worry, Riley Robinson. Let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Face Tick Nick YT, who just says, play more COD World War II. So here's I wanted to answer this one, even though it's like a lazy question. I don't even know if they want me to play it. I get like game requests all the time, and it's like, do you not know what this channel's all about? And to answer that question, honestly, I don't think I'll go back to like a traditional FPS, like Battlefield or like Call of Duty. Maybe I'll play a bit of Halo, like I still have a bit of fun on that. But the truth is, I find these games kind of dull in comparison to the Battle Royale genre. Now we have PUBG on Xbox, now we have Fortnite in particular. I play so much Fortnite still because it's just the same exact gameplay stuff I want, but then with another layer added. So yeah, maybe the fad will die and I'll go back to COD World War II, but realistically, right now it's just zombies plus that weird multiplayer that I don't want to play anymore. So yeah, that's the answer to your question. I know I just kind of moved on personally, and yeah, that's the thing. So let's move to the ninth question, which comes in from Bowmask, who says, any details on the 4K/Super graphics coming next year? A clear release date would be great. And to answer your question, no, we don't have any clear details, sadly, and there's no fixed release date. They set a release date, and then they couldn't do it in time, so they set another release date, they couldn't do it in time, and right now they haven't set a release date, because before they release this, they want to make sure it's entirely bug-free, given that they just released the buggiest product, again, Minecraft and Xbox. They want to really make sure they don't repeat that, because the amount of, like, brand reputation Minecraft has suffered is, like, it's got to be immense, right? So rather than doing that again, they want to release this when it's good, and hopefully, again, improve the game's reputation that way, and I wouldn't blame them for it. So when would I expect it? Something like May is when they put up on a bunch of different websites. It could even get extended beyond May, but they keep on pushing the release date back, and that implies to me that there's a lot more work in it than we expect. So let's move to the finest question, which comes in from Leap and Leopard, who says, cheese or milk? And first of all, I just want to know, like, why would anyone ask this question? Like, in what world are there these two substitutes? And second of all, the second reason it's a ridiculous question is because whoever picks milk over cheese, like, oh, I love that thing that tastes very vaguely not like water. It's like water, but a little bit different. No, it's got to be cheese over milk, because cheese goes with literally everything. I've tried rice and cheese before, it works. Tried cheese with literally anything besides like cereal, and it's going to be better. So boom, there's your answer. It's a ridiculous question though, because cheese just wins by default. So thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. You can like the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets know you do like the Q&A Saturdays. You can share it if you really liked it, and you can subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on the channel, and if you subscribe with notifications turned on, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all. Oh, leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Again, most people are just asking the same stuff, so if you have a slightly more unique question, but don't ask cheese or milk, or like I had someone ask about like whales of legs, and it's like, what? the question has to, I'm honestly confused as to, like, I used to think people ask questions because they wanted to have them answered. Now I think people ask questions because they're like, well, what's the trick to getting on Q&A Saturday? But no, just ask a question if you're curious and you want to hear my response to something, and maybe it'll be answered next week. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.